Season 5 of Game of Thrones is marked by loss, transformation, and disillusionment. As existing powers weaken or crumble, religious extremism rises, loyalty is tested, and beloved characters face the consequences of their ambitions. While the political landscape continues to evolve, deeper questions of morality, identity, and belief dominate the narrative. This season notably diverges further from the books, especially in the fates of characters like Sansa Stark and Jon Snow, leading to some of the show's most controversial and talked about moments. In King's Landing, Cersei Lannister, now Queen Mother, attempts to retain power by aligning herself with the Faith of the Seven, re-establishing the Faith Militant, a radical religious force led by the humble yet severe High Sparrow. Her plan backfires when the Faith turns on her, arresting people of influence, including Loras Tyrell and ultimately Cersei herself, for past incest and adultery. Her downfall climaxes in Episode 10, when she is forced to undertake a brutal and humiliating walk of atonement through the streets of King's Landing, stripped and pelted by the crowd. It marks a moment of disgrace but also rebirth, as Cersei's desire for vengeance intensifies and her demeanor hardens permanently. Meanwhile, Tommen, the Boy King, proves weak-willed and easily manipulated, leaving the city's power structure in chaos. Jon Snow is elected Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, a moment of hope and recognition for his leadership. As threats from beyond the wall grow, Jon chooses diplomacy over war by allying with the wildlings, a decision that makes him many enemies within his own ranks. In Episode 8, Hardhome, Jon leads a rescue mission to the wildling village of Hardhome, which becomes one of the most dramatic battle scenes of the series. The Night's Watch faces the terrifying power of the White Walkers, culminating in a silent, chilling moment when the Night King raises the dead before Jon's eyes. It redefines the stakes of the story. The real war is no longer for the throne, but for survival against death itself. Back at Castle Black, Jon's leadership leads to betrayal. In the final scene of the season, Jon is stabbed repeatedly by his own men for the Watch, ending the season on a shocking cliffhanger that questions the fate of one of the show's most central characters. In Meereen, Daenerys Targaryen faces growing resistance from a terrorist group called the Sons of the Harpy, who violently oppose her anti-slavery reforms. Amidst rising tensions, Ser Barristan Selmy is killed, and Daenerys is pushed to harsher tactics, including reopening the fighting pits and reluctantly agreeing to marry nobleman Hizdar Zolorak to unite the city. A key turning point occurs in Episode 9, when the Sons of the Harpy ambush a major event in the arena. Just as Daenerys is surrounded, Drogon, her largest dragon, arrives and rescues her. She flies away on his back, symbolizing both her loss of control and her evolution toward becoming a true dragon-riding queen. The season ends with her stranded in the Dothraki Sea, surrounded by a new Khalasar. Meanwhile, Tyrion Lannister, having fled Westeros after killing Tywin, arrives in Meereen and is tasked with ruling the city in Daenerys' absence alongside Varys, showing a potential shift in his purpose and redemption arc. In a major departure from the books, Sansa Stark is sent to Winterfell, where she is married off to the monstrous Ramsay Bolton, legitimized as the heir of the North. Her storyline becomes one of the most controversial of the series, as she is mentally and physically abused, most shockingly in a scene depicting her rape on their wedding night. Reek, formerly Theon Greyjoy, begins to rediscover his identity and humanity through his growing sympathy for Sansa. Eventually, he helps her escape Ramsay's clutches. Their leap from the castle walls in the finale symbolizes the beginning of Sansa's reclaiming of power and dignity, setting her on a path towards strength. In Dorne, Prince Doran Martell takes a cautious approach to the Lannisters, while Ellaria Sand and the Sand Snakes seek vengeance for Oberyn Martell's death. Their plan is to assassinate Myrcella Baratheon, who is betrothed to Prince Trystane. Despite Doran's diplomatic approach, Ellaria kisses Myrcella goodbye with poisoned lips, resulting in Myrcella's death on the ship back to King's Landing in her father Jaime's arms. A poignant moment of tragedy, especially as Myrcella had just acknowledged Jaime as her father. The Dorne subplot is often criticized for underwhelming storytelling compared to its source material. Season 5 of Game of Thrones is a study in downfall and disillusionment, Major characters are tested like never before, and few emerge unscathed. While the season received praise for its epic scope and character arcs, it also drew criticism for its depiction of sexual violence and narrative deviations from the books.